would like to know more about your probation. कोई एक स्पेसिफिक इंसिडेंट आपका जो आपको ऐसा लगा हो कि बस यार यहाँ पे तो मैं छोड़ ही देता हूँ, अब जो शक्ल दिख रही है मेरे सीईओ की मैं झेल लूंगा जाके, बट ये नहीं हो पाएगा मुझसे। सो योर ब्रेक पॉइंट के कहाँ पे आपको कुछ ऐसा लगा होगी ये तो दिस इज द टफेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोबेशन।
प्रोबेशन में it was a tough probation overall. I mean, to be very frank, I don't remember any one moment that oh, yeah. Of course, I fell off the cliff. Cliff, क्या? It was about what? थोड़ा पहाड़ से रात के अंधेरे में I didn't see, and it was pitch dark, so I fell down and I landed on my back and I'd hurt myself. So that time I felt as if up to I've broken my spine. So that was the time which gave me a scare. It did give me a scare. Probation to छोड़ो यहाँ. I hope you'll be able to walk or this thing. But then after 10-15 minutes, your limbs are working, and then you slowly got up and carried on. Yeah, so that was one scary moment. And in that also, the first thought in your mind was, yeah, you had heard a story. I'd heard a story that there was somebody who had come for probation, and he had fallen down and he had hurt his spine and then he got paralyzed. Of course, he was sent back. So the first thought is कि यार फिर probation का क्या होगा? And then the second thought came, अबे साले probation तो बाद में, पहले तू चल फिर तो ले. So so yeah, that was one scary moment. But otherwise वो सबके साथ मिलके probation हो गया. It was nice experience. And probation is not just ragda. They also people get trained in it. It's a long duration, and it's a sequence of training as well as testing. So that is also happening. So you're learning new things. You're learning so many new things. So that way it's very good.
सो आई वांट टू नो अबाउट द माइंडसेट ऑफ ए स्पेशल फोर्सेस ऑपरेटिव। जैसे आपको ट्रेन किया जाता है मल्टी फैसेटेड थिंग्स को लेके कि आपका दिमाग थक चुका है, बॉडी थक चुकी है, बट जैसे आपने बताया कि आप बुक रिव्यू लिखो। नोबडी एक्सपेक्ट्स के स्पेशल फोर्सेस के जो प्रोविजन है उसमें बुक रिव्यू लिखने का काम दिया जाएगा। बट या इट्स अ वे टू टेस्ट योर माइंड कि नींद आ रही है बट यू हैव टू स्टे अवेक, एंड छोटा सा भी मिशन दे दिया है। एवरीबडी नोज के बुक रिव्यू लिखना और ना लिखने से या अच्छा या खराब लिख देने से डजंट मेक यू ए गुड और बैड सोल्जर, बट इट जस्ट ए मैटर ऑफ थॉट कि एक छोटा सा भी काम है तो इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट। सो आई वांट टू नो कि कैसे उस दिमाग को फ्रेम किया जाता है एक रेगुलर सोल्जर के कंपैरिजन में स्पेशल ऑपरेटिव का दिमाग कैसे वर्क करता है, हाउ ही अप्रोचेस थिंग, और किस तरीके से प्रोविजन में उस दिमाग को रिगरस वे में और ट्रेन किया जाता है।
Okay, probation is basically to see your mental strength. Uh, लोगों को लगता है कि everyone who joins the special forces is a stud, is a stallion, who can run 5 kilometers in so much time. No, it's not so. Uh, it's it's your mental strength which is being tested. So you're basically looking for people who are mentally strong and with very high integrity and dedication. So these are the qualities which will see you through as a special forces soldier. फिजिकल फिटनेस तो गधे को भी आप दौड़ाओगे वो घोड़ा बन जाता है 3-4 महीने में. सो कोई भी आदमी दे दो मेरे को, आई कैन मेक हिम फिजिकली फिट. देयर इज नो इश्यू इन दैट. इट जस्ट रिक्वायर्स टाइम एंड एफर्ट. सो फिजिकल फिटनेस तो इज टेकन फॉर ग्रांटेड कि प्रोबेशन के लिए आया है तो फिजिकल फिट तो है ना. बेसिक लेवल्स तो ही इज मीटिंग. लेकिन when it comes to mental strength, so we select people who are mentally strong. The aim is to select, and it is not that we would like to train somebody to become mentally strong and then select him. No, we have the whole Indian army to choose from, and it's just handful of units. So we have the choice to select the person we want to. So so we select the people who are mentally strong, and ये जो प्रोबेशन में जो टेस्ट हैं ये वो दे आर टू चेक whether the person is strong or not mentally. Then we check his dedication. हाउ डेडिकेटेड इज द चैप, कितना उसमें वो मोटिवेशन है टू कंटिन्यू. एंड देन द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ऑफ ऑल इज इंटेग्रिटी, कि how is the integrity of this person, because when the going gets tough, that is the people when people break down. कोई टास्क दिया है वो नहीं करके आए, वापस आके बोले मैंने कर लिया, दिखता है प्रोबेशन में. आई हैव नाउ undergone the probation myself, and obviously conducted so many probation of so many hundreds of people now. So you can easily make out, किसने क्या किया है. Now you're waiting for that chap to tell you. ठीक है. So integrity is another very big quality. Dedication, integrity, and mental toughness is what we see. Physical fitness is taken for granted. उसमें, so that is the mindset of a special forces soldier. When you combine all these things, then you get a chap who who only sees victory. When given a task, he completes the task without any. Uh, I remember in '95 in JNK, the governor was taking salute of the Republic Day parade, or was it Independence Day? I don't remember very clearly. So his immediate security was being provided by special forces guys, and there was a bomb blast there, and there was one of his bodyguards from the SF whose waist down he was blown away. It was just a matter of 30 seconds, not 30 seconds, a few minutes, and he was dead. But from that blast, from where he was standing, even then, he was crawling towards where the governor was, uh, so that he was able. He was trying to do what he was tasked to do. So that is the level of dedication which you will find in our soldiers, in our special forces operators, or whatever you call them.
अमेजिंग
So
सर.
ये है कहानी. One sec, I'll just,
श्योर.
yeah.
अमेजिंग सर, जो आपने बात बताई कि इंजर्ड होने के बाद भी सोल्जर जो दिमाग में एक टास्क उनको असाइन किया गया था, ही वाज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स इट, सो दैट मेक्स द डिफरेंस इन अ पर्सन. So can you tell me about some operation, one particular operation that you reminds of, रात को सोने से पहले आपको याद आता है कि अच्छा अच्छा ये किया था, एंड यू फील थ्रिल्ड, या फिर यू फील प्राउड कि आई वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट ऑपरेशन बीइंग ए स्पेशल फोर्सेस सोल्जर. सो कोई स्पेशल एक ऑपरेशन और उसकी यादें आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ सर मैं.
Mm, there are many operations. There are many operations. Operations जैसे पिक्चरों में दिखाते हैं, एंड नॉवेल्स में डिस्क्राइब करते हैं, एवरीथिंग एवरीथिंग गोइंग मेटिकुलसली, एवरीथिंग गोइंग एज पर द बुक. ये वो ऐसे नहीं होता है. सो आई most of the time, so there are such hilarious moments in these operations. You can't anyway. The first successful operation where I went, उसमें एक बड़े hilarious moments थे यार. To say one specific operations where मेरे को रोज रात में याद आता है ना, ऐसा नहीं है. मेरे को रोज रात में ये जरूर, रोज रात में तो नहीं, बट या ऑफन व्हेन यू आर डे ड्रीमिंग, कि अगर ऐसा होता तो कैसा होता, वाला नहीं होता है. So then there are the operations where we have killed is fine, or we have got success is fine. Those operations, there have been many operations where we have missed. To be truthful, there are so many operations where we have missed the militants or the enemy. And कहीं पर गलतियां हुई हैं, और कहीं पर कहीं पर it is just bad luck that you missed. So when you look back, you do think, yeah, had I stayed there for half an hour more, maybe result would have been different. Or yeah, instead of taking the going from the left, had I gone from the right, things would have been different. So those things are there. They will always be in operations.
सो कैन यू डिस्क्राइब एनी सच ऑपरेशन, क्योंकि सक्सेसफुल ऑपरेशंस या सक्सेसफुल स्टोरीज के बारे में मोस्टली लोग डिस्कस करते हैं, बट आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू कि मान लो अगर मैं भी सोचता हूँ कि मैं किसी दिन रिटायर हो जाऊं तो मैं क्या पलट के देखूंगा अपनी लाइफ के बारे में। सो इट्स काइंड ऑफ लर्निंग लेसन फॉर पीपल लाइक मी एंड अदर्स कि ठीक है, रिटायरमेंट के बाद इंसान कैसे सोचता है। तो एनी सच ऑपरेशन दैट यू गेट रिमाइंडेड ऑफ राइट नाउ, कि जहां पर आपको लगता है कि हाँ, अगर मैं दूसरा स्टेप ले लेता तो शायद मैं सक्सेसफुल हो जाता। So I want to know that, sir.
Now, ठीक है, I'll tell you. We had an encounter near Rajouri. So we had an encounter. It was towards the evening. It was around 6 o'clock in the evening, and we had already shot two terrorists, and we had surrounded a house where we thought there was one more, and we could see the outline. He was somebody was trying to peep. There was a huge window, and we could see. But there was also that rumor going around कि उसके अंदर एक लेडी है और बच्चा है उस घर के अंदर. इट वाज अ सिंपल वन रूम हट. वो सिंगल ब्रिक की हट नहीं होती, वो थी. सो वन शॉट ऑफ द आरएल एंड इट वुड हैव गॉन ब्लोन टू बिट्स. इट्स वेरी इजी टू ब्लो ऑफ अ मिलिटेंट इन अ हट लाइक दैट. बहुत ही छोटी हट, मे बी 10 फीट बाय 10 फीट की भी नहीं थी वो, अगर आप देखें तो. एंड रॉकेट लॉन्चर का एक आप मारे तो इट विल ब्लो अवे. यू जस्ट फायर थ्रू द विंडो, अंदर कुछ बचेगा नहीं. वी कुड हैव डन दैट. लेकिन अब क्योंकि आपके दिमाग में डाउट आ गया कि अंदर सिविलियन है, एंड देन यू कैनॉट. एंड हम ज्यादा लोग नहीं थे, सो दैट वी कुड सराउंड इट फुल्ली. वी वर वेरी वेरी फ्यू पीपल. वी वर व्हाट अबाउट 7-8 people. So we surrounded it and kept on the lookout कि कोई हरकत हो कुछ ना. इतने में that there was no civilian inside. There was a militant inside. And that somehow that militant in the middle of the night, he jumped out, and all of a sudden he ran. Of course, he was running for his life, so we missed him, and he escaped. He escaped us. And of course, there was another unit which had also placed its ambushes all around. So he ran into one of them. He got killed, all right. Lekin then, we didn't kill. We missed. So such like incidents are there quite a lot. कभी confusion हो जाता है. There are some times where uh, you are stuck in a situation where if you fire, there'll be civil casualties. And no matter what these human rights people write or say, Indian Army, we have a very very good record as far as taking care of collateral damage is concerned. We don't we don't open fire indiscriminately ever. That is never the aim. We know they are our countrymen. जो सिविलियन है, आउट ऑफ कोर्शन, डर के मारे कुछ भी, he can be made to cooperate by the terrorists. However, we don't. So ऐसी situations में yes, militants निकल जाते हैं काफी.
Yeah.
But that is part of the game.
रियली गुड टू नो जो आपने बात बोली इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के बारे में, दैट वी डोंट फायर इनडिस्क्रिमिनेटली। कई बार ऐसे नेगेटिव व्यूज कंट्री के अंदर आ जाते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ डिफरेंसेस इन आइडियोलॉजीज, जो भी पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजीज होती हैं, दे ट्राई टू पोर्ट्रे कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट हो जाए, बट देन दे डोंट डू नॉट पोर्ट्रे कि उसके पीछे की रीजनिंग क्या थी। सो इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो कि इंडियन आर्मी कितने रिस्पॉन्सिबल वे में एक्ट करती है। आपने स्टार्टिंग में एक बात बोली थी सर कि द वे इट्स शोन इन द मूवी इट डज नॉट हैपन इन द रियल। सो कहीं ना कहीं एक मेरा खुद का ये पर्सपेक्टिव है, जैसे हम आजकल देखते हैं कि जो मूवीज बहुत ज्यादा बन रही हैं इंडियन आर्म जो आर्म फोर्सेज हैं उनके ऑपरेशंस के ऊपर, तो दे आर नाउ ट्राइंग टू कमर्शलाइज दोज ऑपरेशंस और दे आर ट्राइंग टू कमर्शलाइज द डिफेंस फोर्सेज। डू यू ऑल्सो थिंक दैट वे कि मोर देन जो उनका इंटेंशन है टू ब्रिंग अबाउट द राइट थिंग, दे आर ट्राइंग टू just trying to commercialize things just to capitalize on all those stories? What do you think about it कि कितना रियल है?
No,
और
see, देखिए, movies are meant for entertainment. Okay, and it's an industry. which is a commercial industry. So they will make things which sell, and they will. So there's nothing to blame. Why should we blame them? It's their industry. वो उनका काम, उनके काम में मैं क्या बोलूं, है ना? So yes, that's, some people like it, so people go and watch, है ना? वो ओवर ड्रामेटाइज्ड एनकाउंटर और ये सब जो देखते हैं, so there are people who like it, so they show it, and they make money. Everybody makes money, and the audience also goes back very happy. So that's okay. So all I'm saying is that it doesn't happen like that on ground. On ground, it doesn't happen कि किसी को एक गोली लगी और वो मर गया, नहीं मरता यार.
And you're the best
Uh,
example, I think, on a lighter note.
हाँ.
So it's
हाँ.
not always,
Yes. No.
it's always that way
मेरे
कि,
को तो चलो, it just sneaked and went. But like people show, एक गोली मारी, ठक मर गया, वो नहीं मरता है. एक गोली लग के वो he becomes more dangerous because he knows he's got shot. He knows he's not going anywhere, and he knows that now I will take down 4, 5 of them before I go. So he becomes even more dangerous.
okay,
So yeah, so things are very different in actuality.
great, sir. Now coming to your adventurous portion. आप सर स्काई डाइविंग में भी एक्सपर्ट रहे हैं. यू कॉल योर सेल्फ एज एन एड्रेनलिन जंकी, जिसको कि इस तरीके की एक्टिविटीज में बहुत ज़्यादा मज़ा आता है. सो आई वॉन्ट बी आस्किंग योर सोर्स, बिकॉज यू हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड कि मैं एक ऐसे बैकग्राउंड से बिलोंग करता हूँ और बचपन से ही मैं किसी न किसी तरीके की फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व रहा. एंड दैट क्लियरली शोज द like the quantum of adrenaline that you have inside your body. बट आई वॉन्ट टू नो कि किस तरीके से जो आपकी पूरी जर्नी रही, जो डाइविंग स्काई डाइविंग में आप आपका पूरा करियर रहा. सो हाउ डज इट गोज अबाउट के फोर्सेस आपको कैसे अपॉर्चुनिटीज देते हैं, हाउ डिड यू जॉइन, योर एक्सपीरियंस. एंड आई वांट टू नो अबाउट योर फर्स्ट जंप. कैसा लगता है जब फर्स्ट टाइम आप इतनी हाइट से जंप करते हैं तो?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been a skydiver. I've been lucky to be, there are people specialize in various things. I got the opportunity of doing skydiving. So let me tell you, there's no better feeling in the world, compared to when you're falling free in the air. It is exhilarating. It's just too good. And you see, I was lucky that I could join the SF, and I was being paid to do all these things, to do skydiving, to do trekking, camping, skiing, mountain, those rock craft, ice craft, Siachen Glacier. You know, people pay a fortune to be able to, go on a expedition. Yeah, फौज फ्री में करा रही थी सब कुछ यार. मजे ही मजे थे. So it was that. Yeah, coming back to the first jump. So what they do is, every course they give you first ground training, and that's for about, I think, 11, 12 days, and then they take you in the air. uh, the first time they take you in the air, they give, it's called air experience. So you do everything which you would do in the jump other than stepping out of the aircraft. So they make you stand, and they open the ramp just to give you an idea of what you're going to experience. And so people who had done the parabasic course before us, they said फर्स्ट जंप में तो कुछ पता नहीं लगता है, सेकंड जंप से पता लगता है. एंड दैट्स सो ट्रू बिकॉज फर्स्ट जंप, just you, before you realize, there are those three lights. you know it is red, amber, that is yellow, and green. So normally it is red on. So red on means अभी कोई जंप नहीं हो रही. Just they make you action stations where they make you stand and be ready. They check everything. Then the light is red. Then it turns yellow, and that there's a alarm kind of thing which goes off bang करके ना, very dirty sound, bang, and it's yellow on. So everybody gets totally, you tighten your muscles, okay, bracing yourself, and then it's green on. The moment it's green on, they open the thing, and then they do that. before you realize you're in the air, you're out of the aircraft and in the air, and parachute अपने आप ही खुलता है वो. नहीं खुलता है तो there's a reserve parachute which is there with you. So they teach you, you count till 5,000 and look up. If it opens, fine. किसके बाप का 5,000 यार, पहली जब में तो किसी को पता ही नहीं क्या हुआ क्या. After some time you realize, अरे I have to check my parachute, it was already open. So first jump is like that. But yeah, second jump, uh, you are scared. You are scared. And the thrill is in overcoming that, you know, fear of all your senses are telling you, what the hell are you doing? You're stepping out of an aircraft at that height. सब कुछ तुम्हें रोक रहा है, but you are overcoming that and stepping out. So uh, the I don't know, the good part or the bad part. It so happens that in a course there are jawans and there are officers. So what they'll do is, every time it's called a stick. A stick is of say 20 people. So the stick first person is always an officer. If there's an officer in that stick, he'll be made to jump first. So you're already which is a very good leadership, uh,
Lesson,
training.
like leading from the
It sends
front.
across the message that your officer is going to jump before you. You know, so that's a good thing. But बेचारे वो जो officer होते हैं ना, हम in the initial thing वो बड़ी it's a pressure on you also. कि boss, the entire stick behind is watching you. They're watching what you're doing. So yeah. So I've not heard of an officer, not jumping out. So yeah. So it was the second jump onward, it was scary. Second, third jump. Fourth jump was okay. And fifth jump was the night jump. वहां तो पता ही नहीं था क्या हुआ क्या. अंधेरे में शक out. And by the time you realize, you're already there on the ground. A parachute, it looks as if it falls very gently, but it falls at the speed of, I think, 17 feet per second, which is pretty fast. It's almost akin to, I think, jumping from a high first floor of a building. तो उसमें अगर आपकी पोजीशन ठीक नहीं है तो you do get hurt a number of times. People, I think everybody has got hurt once or twice.
Have you ever got hurt while jumping?
Yeah. So I was commanding my unit in Ladakh. So in Ladakh we have high altitude jumps. Those are special parachutes. So we do two jumps. So first jump uh, was okay. And when I was wearing the parachute for the second jump, I saw a parachute which is looking very different. So I said, "ये कौन सा parachute है?" So they said, "Oh, this is come for trials." So I asked them, "How is it?" So they said, "Oh, this is बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है." Because the guys who had brought it for trials, they knew they didn't want to wear it. So they passed it off as बहुत अच्छा है. So मैंने कहा, anything special? नहीं नहीं, it's the same. The function is same as this thing. You'll find those toggles to steer it left right, and you'll be able to control it. I said fine. So it was a parachute called Saviac. It was not meant for high altitude. Yeah. So anyway, I wore it to try out a new, to have one more tick कि मैंने तो एक और पैराशूट से जंप, टाइप ऑफ पैराशूट. वो जंप तो मार दिया. When it opened and then I looked down, I realized, boss, today you're going to have it, because the rate of descent was very, very fast. As it is, in high altitude, Leh, Ladakh and all, the rate of descent of the parachute is very high. But this one it was going at double or triple. I knew I'm going to break something that day. But I landed, of course, and then I couldn't get up. I had hurt my ankle very badly. But वो चोट चाट लगती रहती है. फिर वो ठीक है, थोड़ी देर में ठीक हो गया. फौजी डॉक्टर्स आर गुड दैट वे. दे पुट यू बैक ऑन रोड. डेंटिंग पेंटिंग करते हैं और वापस भेज देते हैं.
Great, sir. Your entire narrative of doing all these adventure sports, I mean, it's such a motivation for us. कई बार हम ना से मोनोटनस लाइफ में हो जाते हैं कि सेम रूटीन, वही ऑफिस वर्क, डेली लाइफ, डेली चोर्स रोज के करने के. बट दीज थिंग्स डेफिनेटली मोटिवेट अस कि हाँ, लाइफ में कुछ एक एडवेंचर एस्पेक्ट होना भी जरूरी है. एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट अबाउट फोर्सेस दैट यू जस्ट सेड के दे पे यू फॉर डूइंग दिस. This is the most beautiful
Yeah.
aspect. Okay, you are paid for doing all these things. In civilian world you pay to do all this stuff, and वो इतना भी pay करने के बाद 1 or 2 times in a life one can do that, but you are doing it on a daily basis and getting trained in all these things. It's amazing. So we have enough out of you, a lot of experiences coming out of straight from your heart, but I want to know one thing from you. Most of the forces के officers, या जैसे हम देखते हैं, they retire from the colonel, but you rose to the brigadier. So I want to know from you, what different did you do in your entire journey? You clearly told कि failures भी आ जाते हैं. There were operations where you were not successful, and it's an inspiring thing to listen from you. क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि लाइफ में कुछ फेलियर्स आ गए दैट मीन कि अब आप आगे नहीं बढ़ पाओगे. So overcoming those failures, and how did you strategize your life, and what different thing did you do to command a brigade? I want to know from you this.
I think, see, uh, to say was I doing anything different? I don't know. Whatever you do, whatever you do, at whichever level you are, you may be a lieutenant, you may be a captain, major, colonel, brigadier, whatever. It requires you to do your job well. That's what is required. Okay. So it's not that, I have become a brigadier, I am better than somebody who did not become a brigadier, or somebody who did not even become a full colonel. So it's not so. It is, luck has a lot of things to play. You know, you're doing two people doing the same kind of job with the same level of dedication. One gets success and the other does not. होता है, आपने भी देखा होगा. दो बंदे हैं, दे आर स्टडिंग टुगेदर फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम, दे हैव इक्वल नॉलेज दोनों. फॉर ऑल यू नो, जो बंदा दूसरे को पढ़ाता है, he may get left out and the student may, clear the exam. You hear so many stories like that. So to say I don't know what I did differently, I just tried to do what I did well. And that's what I think saw me through. I was, and I must have been very lucky also that what I did got success, and it was seen and recognized by the army, and they found me fit enough to be a brigadier.
So I think it won't be wrong to say that a lot of things they are written in the destiny. So you are doing your part the best. All the best we can do is to give our 100% for whatever task is assigned to us. Rest we should leave to the destiny, wherever it takes you. Some There are many officers who are very talented. For example, I'm very fond of the story of Captain Vikram Batra. He was very talented, but yeah, he had some different destiny to have, and everybody has a different fate. So हम क्या कर सकते हैं is to do our job in the best possible manner, to have that level of integrity that you told कि वो जो probation में check किया जाता है कि do you have that integrity. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हाँ पूरा दिन लगा देने के बाद now you are speaking lie, or you are just saying कि हाँ छोटा सा काम था बोल देता हूँ कौन सा इनको पता चल रहा है. So it should not be that way. आपने प्रोबेशन को क्लियर किया. आपके ये जो सारे एक्सपीरियंस थे सर, जो डेफिनेटली आपकी बातों से बहुत सारी क्वालिटीज निकल कर आई. यू आर क्वाइट मॉडेस्ट. सारी बातों को बताने में आपने बड़ा इजीली कह दिया कि अरे यार पे तुमने तो बड़ा ड्रामेटिक वे में मेरी जो गोली लगी उसकी कहानी सुनाई. इट वाजंट दैट वे. बट जो सुनने वाले हैं उनके लिए इट्स ए थ्रिलिंग एक्सपीरियंस. फॉर यू इट माइट बी ओके, ठीक है हो गया मेरे साथ में बढ़ गया लाइफ में आगे. बट फॉर ऑल दोज पीपल हु आर हियरिंग दिस फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, और मे बी फॉर द सेकेंड टाइम ऑल्सो, उनके लिए ये एक्सपीरियंसेस बहुत ही ज़्यादा थ्रिलिंग होते हैं जानने के लिए. सो आई रियली वॉन्ट टू थैंक यू सर फॉर योर प्रेजेंस हियर, फॉर टेकिंग आउट योर प्रीशियस टाइम. And I believe that I am left with a lot of questions right now. So I'll request you to have you to find out some time once again. दोबारा एक बार कोशिश करते हैं सर कनेक्ट होने की. And there are a lot of questions that I am having. Maybe you have something to guide to the youngsters that I'm leaving for the second part. I'm not asking you do you have something to say, because I want you here second time also. So उस पोर्शन को हम दोबारा कवर करेंगे सर नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में. Till then, thank you so much for taking out your time. And yeah, something that you want to say now.
Thank you, Arpit. I mean, I'm really impressed by the way you summarize everything which I, have just said. Every time I say something and you summarize it in a very, very nice manner. I'm really impressed by that.
Thank you.
It's a very good quality. I may not be very good at summarizing my own things that way. Yeah, so you done it really well. And nothing else. Looking forward to joining you again.
Yeah,
Jai Hind.
there is one thing I'm intentionally telling you. I'm intentionally telling you, I would like to hear from you what a veteran has to say to the youngsters, those who are 25, 26 years of age, who are either struggling to get into the job of their choices or are they are struggling after getting into the job. क्योंकि बहुत से लोगों को लगता है कि अच्छा मैं एक बार ये जॉब अचीव कर लूंगा या मेरा फोर्सेज में हो जाएगा या मेरा बैंकिंग सेक्टर में हो जाएगा और उसके बाद तो लाइफ विल बी क्वाइट चिल एंड आई विल बी हैविंग गुड टाइम बट इट्स नॉट दैट वे challenges खत्म नहीं होते हैं and you are the best example even I am seeing those challenges in my life so from this podcast my intention is to bring out your experiences that can be helpful for the youngsters and I'm leaving this thing for the next time to hear your words your precious words which can straight away like boost up the morale and confidence of the youngsters till then thank you so much for your presence sir here and I really appreciate कि आपने इतना time निकाला and अपने जो valuable lessons थे उनको share किया thank you so much
Thank you, Arpit. Bye.
bye bye sir